Red leather, yellow leather. 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 Good blood, bad blood. 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 Unique New York. 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 Toy boat. Toy boat. Toy boat. Toy boat. Toy boat. Toy boat. 11 benevolent elephants. 11 benevolent elephants. 11 benevolent elephants. 11 benevolent elephants. The black bug bled black blood. 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 Peggy Babcock. Peggy Babcock. Peggy Babcock. Peggy Babcock. Peggy Babcock, get in here. Peggy Babcock. I slit the sheet I slit, and on the slitted sheet I sit. I slit the sheet I slit, and on the slitted sheet I sit. I am a thistle sifter. I have 7 sieves of unsifted thistles, and 7 sieves of sifted thistles, for I am a thistle sifter. I am a thistle sifter. I have 7 sieves of unsifted thistles, and 7 sieves of sifted thistles, for I am a thistle sifter. Amidst the mists of fiercest frosts, with barest wrists and stoutest boasts, he thrusts his fists against the post, and still insists he sees the ghost. Oh, what to do to die today, in a minute or two to two, a thing distinctly hard to say, but harder still to do, for there'll be a tattoo at 20 to 2, a rat-a-tat-tat and a tat-a-tat-too, and the dragon will come when he hears the drum, and a minute or two to two today, and a minute or two to two. She stood on the balcony, inexplicably mimicking him hiccuping, and amicably welcoming him in. She stood on the balcony, inexplicably mimicking him hiccuping, and amicably welcoming him in. One more. She stood on the balcony, inexplicably mimicking him hiccuping, and amicably welcoming him in. Every single syllable I speak upon the stage has been specifically scientifically selected to stimulate the sections of your cerebrum that set and sustain a certain satisfying psychological state. 1 hen, 2 ducks. 1 hen, 2 ducks, 3 squawking geese. 1 hen, 2 ducks, 3 squawking geese, 4 corpulent porpoises. 1 hen, 2 ducks, 3 squawking geese, 4 corpulent porpoises, 5 limerick oysters. 1 hen, 2 ducks, 3 squawking geese, 4 corpulent porpoises, 5 limerick oysters, 6 pairs of Don Alfonso's tweezers. 1 hen, 2 ducks, 3 squawking geese, 4 corpulent porpoises, 5 limerick oysters, 6 pairs of Don Alfonso's tweezers, 7,000 Macedonian warriors in full battle array. 1 hen, 2 ducks, 3 squawking geese, 4 corpulent porpoises, 5 limerick oysters, 6 pairs of Don Alfonso's tweezers, 7,000 Macedonian warriors in full battle array, 8 brass monkeys from the ancient sacred crypts of Egypt, 9 apathetic, diabetic, sympathetic old men on roller skates with a marked propensity for procrastination and sloth. Give me the gift of a grip-top sock. A drip-drape, ship-shaped, tip-top sock. Not your spib, slick, slapstick, slip-slop stock, but a plastic, elastic grip-top sock. None of your fantastic slack swap-slop from a slapdash, flash-cash haberdash shop. Not a knick-knack, knit-locked, knock-kneed knickerbocker sock with a mock-shot blob-bottled tick-tocker clock. Not a rucked-up, puckered-up flop-top sock. Not a super-sheer seersucker, puka sack-smock sock. Not a spot-speckled, frog-freckled, cheap chic sock off a hotchpotch, moss-blotched, botched scotch block. Nothing slip-slop, drip-drop, flip-flop, or clip-clop. Tip me a tip-top grip-top sock. All right, let's make some magic. All right, let's go to the talk show desk. Oh, hey, there's a Shayna. That's not even supposed to be in there. Oh, rough weekend. Well, you come to the right place. Let's talk it out. Let's start the big show. What do you say? Oh, I got my fingers crossed. Looks good, looks good. Oh, we got the background to work. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Johnny Millwater's Happy Place. I'm Johnny Millwater. I'll bring the brick wall in real quick. Got a great show for you today. A lot of fun things to read and talk about. But first, we got to see how my pals are doing. Nonsequently's here. Lovely to see you, Julia. Thank you so much for coming. I heard you had a rough weekend. That's tough. And also, we got a couple questions from Shayna, so let's talk about that. Now, Shayna asked, how's everybody doing today? So I'll start. Hi, I'm doing good. Got out of the house, having some fun, drinking lots of coffee. I'm getting kicked out of the Comedy Zone early today, so I'm drinking Waffle House coffee instead of my normal stuff. But I'm feeling good. Thanks for asking. DJ Shayna says, Johnny, I love all the artwork you are sharing. Who are the artists besides me? I accidentally put one of yours in there. I love all the black. I don't even know how to describe it, but you combined black paint with glue to make something that I forget what it was called, but I absolutely love the animals you've been drawing, and I didn't mean to put it in that slideshow, but all the rest of them are me. I did all the art that you see is just me using various AI art programs, trying to kind of describing how I feel that day and see if I can find a visual representation. So all those are done technically by me or by the many artists that AI copied, whatever you want. I'm not here about the credit. I'm here just because I like the pictures and I thought you might enjoy them. Goth glue, that's it. Yeah. No Andy Forrester, I'm afraid. I love Andy, but yeah, other than the logo that's here on the desk, we didn't use that. Let's go to the chat, Shelley, so you guys can see what you're saying. I did. I created all of the digital art, and I'm going to keep creating lots more. And I'll share it with you every week. There you go. Something to do with the pre-show. Now, it's been a rough weekend. Oh, no. My dog had to have emergency surgery yesterday. Oh, my God. She still isn't out of the woods, waiting to hear from the vet. Oh, on a Sunday. Oh, that's awful. I'm so sorry. Do you know what the problem is? Is it, what are the symptoms? I'm just curious. I hope she'll be okay. 100%. I love the dog, and I'm rooting hard for him. Black paint mixed with school blue. Very creative. Well, thank you very much. I just wish I had better hands that could do the things I want to do. AI has been a gift for me, but I can't really share it outside of our little secret club here. So, but it's fun. I really enjoyed that. All right, I have been working hard on the intro. Thank you. Julia, I'm so sorry to hear your dog is struggling. I know that's stressful. Let me know what's going on with the dog, and we'll cheer him on. We'll send the positive vibes and do everything we can. It's not always much, but we'll do it. That's rough. Tell you what, we're all caught up on the stream. I mean, on the chat. Why don't we spin the wheel? I got all kinds of cool. Oh, hold on. It's a bowel obstruction, and we've all been there. She had high blood pressure, which made the surgery more difficult. Hopefully, I can visit her today. Good. I sincerely hope you get to see her. What's her name? We'll all be rooting for her. Keep us posted. I really want to know. My dog's doing great. They are named currently Ford and Mac, and they are vicious little beasts. They're two dog wrecking crew. They're just destroying everything in my house all day. Anytime I'm not sitting in the same room with them, they're destroying something. They destroy one room and they poop in a separate room. They don't destroy the same room they poop in, which I think is very smart. But I gotta figure out how to train those dogs because I don't know how to do it. And it's getting bad. It's getting really bad. Brooke. That's the name of one of my favorite people. That's one of the first people I ever fell in love with was named Brooke. That's a great name. My dog, I don't think they are friendly. I don't know if they've met anybody yet. We've been kind of keeping them hidden. Adjust this a little bit here. Push it back a bit. There we go. That's nice. All right. Chow Mix has Akita and Shepherd on there. I didn't even know Akita was a kind of dog. I thought it was a kind of chip. 40 pounds. Nice. My dogs now are 40 pounds and 35 pounds. They just went to the vet 2 weeks ago. They're very healthy. Debbie spoils them to death with really, really good food she makes herself. Crate training. That helps with training big time. I bet it does. I don't know, man. The crate just feels so wrong to me. I'm claustrophobic, and when I was a kid, I got locked in the closets quite a bit as punishment. So I sweat about putting the dog. Probably they wouldn't worry about it at all. Dogs probably don't even notice when they're in the crate, but it just seems wrong to me. You want to borrow my crate? Let me know. Thank you very much. I will keep that in mind. But you guys take a second to catch up. I am going to spin the wheel. Oh, Shakespeare. Nice. Why don't you meet me at the Shakespeare stage? All right, we got a sonnet to go. I got my very first feedback on the Tickety Talks. I've been posting again on TikTok this week, feeling a little better. And I got some negative feedback for sonnet number 19 from a state champion poetry recitation. Poem reciter? I don't know what they are, but he said that I should pay more attention to the text, and it sounds like I'm just putting on a voice and saying the words, which is exactly what I'm going to do. So here we go. Gonna try my best. Yeah, I'm on TikTok. You're not following me on TikTok? Johnny's Happy Place. Tell your friends. Yeah, I want you on there too. Please join me. All right, this is Sonnet 33 by William Shakespeare. Full many a morning have I seen flatter the mountain tops with sovereign eye, kissing with golden face the meadows green, gilding pale streams with heavenly alchemy. Anon, permit the basest clouds to ride with ugly wrack on his celestial face, and from the forlorn world his visage hide, stealing unseen to west with this disgrace. Even so, my sun one early morn did shine with all triumphant splendor on my brow, but out, alack, he was but 1 hour mine. The region cloud hath masked him from me now. Yet him for this my love no whit disdaineth. Sons of the world may stain when heaven's sun staineth. Yeah, I don't know what I'm talking about. I just thought that was fun. I would like that very much. Please follow me. I'd love to get some positive comments. I only got one person following me. I can tell what people call it the Tickety Talk. Now, I call it the Tickety Talk. That's just something I came up with for Butch. Sounds like something my dad would say. Yep, I call them the Tickety Talks. It's like the hippity hop, just trying to keep it fun. Good question. Yeah, as far as I know, I'm the only one who calls it that. Whoop, where'd my head go? There we go. All right, we got to... There we are. And... Nice. I'm so sorry about the dog stray. How was your week? Is everybody's week okay? I know that you had dog problems. We all got slight... Oh, how's your dog? Shayna, how's Pepper? You were going to take her to the... Oh, I was worried about Pepper for a while. I never heard how she turned out. How's she doing? Keep me posted. Let's spin the wheel, shall we? Joke! Cool, meet me at the comedy club. Got any jokes you want me to tell, Shannon? That was a good time. I got a list of 4 or 5. Terrible. Here we go. I'm so good at sleeping, I can do it with my eyes closed. Okay. Another one? All right. Why did the police arrest the turkey? They suspected foul play. There you go. There's enough of that. Doing amazing? Yes. So glad to hear it. I was so worried about it. Good. What did it turn out to be? Oh, prose. Cool. I got some good stuff. Meet me in the prose library. Okay, let's see. Before we get to the prose, Shayna says that her blood work came back normal, thank goodness, but the vet is concerned about her urine. So we have to keep an eye on that, but things are good for now. I am also concerned about my dog's urine, not so much the content as the location. Okay, I got a couple of good pieces of prose for you today. I got some, nice. I got some Kurt Vonnegut, and I have something about reading. Let's start with that. I found this big, long meme that had this piece of writing from a guy named Ryan Holiday, who was a professional writer, but he's really more of a reader. You know, Ryan Holiday is the author of 15 books, including The Obstacle is the Way, Ego is the Enemy, The Daily Stoic, Conspiracy, and Stillness is the Key. He calls himself a professional reader, because that's really what authors are. A book is made of books. So he offered 38 rules he has followed over the years to get the most out of reading. Here we go. And the title is 38 Pieces of Reading Advice from Ryan Holiday. 38! Buckle up! Here we go. Do it all the time. Bring a book with you everywhere. I've read at the Grammys and in the moments before going under for a surgery. I've read on planes and beaches, in cars, and in cars while I waited for a tow truck. You take the pockets of time you can get. Number 2, physical books only. Number 3, it's not that I have a problem with audiobooks. If it gets you reading, I'm all for it. I just think there's something very special about the physical form. I just read a great book about this, actually called Proust and the Squid by Marianne Wolfe. Check it out. Number 4, hardcover over paperback. Number 5, bring a pen with you too. Reading is better if you're taking notes. I'm never without a pen. Number 6, keep a commonplace book. As Seneca wrote, we should hunt out the helpful pieces of teaching and the spirited and noble-minded sayings which are capable of immediate practical application. Not far-fetched or archaic expression or extravagant metaphors and figures of speech, and learn them so well that words becomes works. Number 7, err on the side of age. Classics are classics for a reason. Beat 'em up. Books are not precious things. As an author, I love it when people hand me a book to sign that has real miles on it. When people hand me a pristine copy and tell me it's their favorite, I assume they're just flattering me. It's obvious what my favorite books are because they are falling apart. Number 9, in every book you read, try to find your next one in its footnotes or bibliography. This is how you build a knowledge base in a subject. It's how you trace a subject back to its core. Number 10, same goes when you find an author you love. Read them all. I read Cecil Woodham Smith's book on the charge of the Light Brigade, only to find she had also to discover that she had also written a biography of Florence Nightingale. It was that discovery that shaped a full third of my book, Courage. Third of my book, Courage is Calling. Every third of these has a plug. I don't care for that. Number 11, that comment from Sam Bankman-Fried about how every book should be a 900-word blog post is preposterously stupid. The whole point of reading is to really understand something. So if you're after the gist, just skip books and stick with blog posts. Number 12, if you want a book you want, just buy it. Don't worry about the price. Reading is not a luxury. It's not something you splurge on. It's a necessity. Even if all you get is one life-changing idea from a book, that's a pretty good return on investment. Number 13, that might sound privileged, but Warren Buffett considers the foundation of his multi-billion-dollar industry to be a book. At 19 years old, he bought a copy of The Intelligent Investor by Benjamin Graham. We don't know exactly what he paid for it, but in the early 1950s, a hardcover book went for about $1.30. Buffett said his worth today is $108 billion, having given away some $37 billion to charitable causes. Not a bad return on investment. Number 14, some people might recoil at categorizing a book that way, but as a lover of literature, I have no problem with it. I myself wouldn't be writing this to you today if I hadn't bought a paperback of Meditations in 2006 for $8.25 on Amazon. That book of philosophy not only taught me about life, but also schooled me in the art of writing, working with and managing people, and gave me the specialty which I now write my own books about. Again, not a bad return on investment. Number 15, don't just read books, reread books. There's a great line the Stoics love, that we never step in the same river twice. The books don't change, but you do. As I said, number 16, speed reading is a scam. You just have to spend a lot of time reading. Spend the time, it's worth it. 17, if a book sucks, stop reading it. The best readers actually quit a lot of books. Life is too short to read books you don't enjoy reading. Number 18, the rule I like is 100 pages minus your age. Say you're 30 years old. If a book hasn't captivated you by page 70, stop reading it. So as you age, you have less time to endure crap. Number 19, embrace serendipity. So many of my favorite books are just random things I grabbed at bookstores. This is why I say don't buy in a book, just roll the dice. Don't worry about buying a book, just roll the dice. That's what bookstores are for. What I've tried to build mine around. It's a discovery engine better than any algorithm. Number 20, don't just build a library, build an anti-library, a stack of unread books that humbles you and reminds you just how much there is still to learn. It's a sign that you don't yet know. It's also a resource there whenever you might need to do a deep dive into that topic. Number 21, Emerson's line was, if we encounter a man of rare intellect, we should ask him what books he reads. I realize now that there's 17 more that I didn't get. I think I should change the title or something because that's the end of my list right there. It's good advice. I'm going to say it again. If we meet a man of rare intellect, we should ask him what books he reads. What books do you guys read? You're rare intellects for sure. Ooh, look at this. We got lots of cool stuff. Okay, thanks for asking. You're so funny. You're very kind to say that. I have a very serious question for you. Oh, here we go. What do you call a horse and bee that live in the same neighborhood? Let me think about that for a second. A horse and bee. So it might be about flies, spelling bee, horse. I don't know. I don't know what they have in common. What do a horse and bee that live in the same neighborhood, what are they called? I don't even know. I like the monologue about reading books. Well, thank you very much. I used to be an avid reader when I was younger, but now I usually only do audiobooks. Neighbors. Oh, neighbors. You got to have the voice for that. Neighbors. What do you call a horse? What do you call a horse and a bee that live on the same street? Neighbors. Delightful. And I thank you. I still enjoy reading. I really like short stories, mostly. I've read everything Stephen King has ever written. He's able to hold my attention. I don't read much nonfiction if I can help it, unless it's written by a comedian. I read books by comedians all the time. I have a large collection of comedy essays and Charles Kuralt and some comic books. Certainly not enough. But what do you guys read? What's the last thing you enjoyed reading? I'm curious. All right, let's spin the wheel. Where's the wheel? Where's the wheel? There it is. Oh, Zen Koan. Nice. Meet me at the campfire. All right. You like that voice? That's It's not it's an entry dice clay kind of attitude. I wouldn't say it's an impression of his voice by any means. It's just my tough New Yorker. I should give him a name. But yeah, it's the same guy who told the dick jokes last week. All right, hey, I got some Zen Koans for you. As you know, Zen Koans are tools used in the study of Zen Buddhism, which I'm interested in. This is Zen Koan number 68, One Note of Zen. After Kakua visited the emperor, he disappeared, and no one knew what became of him. He was the first Japanese to study Zen in China, but since he showed nothing of it, save one note, he is not remembered for having brought Zen into his country. Kakua visited China and accepted the true teaching. He did not travel while he was there, meditating constantly in a remote part of the mountain. Whenever people found him and asked him to preach, he would say a few words and then move to another part of the mountain where he could be found less easily. Nice. The emperor heard about Kakua when he returned to Japan and asked him to preach Zen for his edification and that of his subjects. Kakua stood before the emperor in silence. He then produced a flute from the folds of his robe and blew one short note. Bowing politely, he disappeared. Yeah. Love to hear all your different voices. You know, I need to accents. Well, this is it, baby. This is where I do all my voices and accents. And I do, now I'm doing a lot of different voices in my warm-ups now. If you get here early, 10 minutes before the show when I'm doing my opening vocal exercises, I'm trying out all kinds of new voices. I'll see if I can figure it out. how to put it all in one. I used to have a card routine that had all the different voices in it. Be cool to hear all your voices in one monologue. I'll think about it. I'll see if I can figure it out. I still haven't discovered all my voices. I'm excited about it. That's one of the reasons I like doing this. I'm trying to find new characters. Trying to take some chances where the stakes are kind of low. You'll forgive me if I make a mistake. That's what I like about it. All right, let's spin a wheel. Wisdom. Very nice. Mate, let's lay down some wisdom from on high. I got a good one for you. This is from Alan Watts. You know he's my favorite. Alan Watts had this to say about what you see. When your eyes are functioning well, you don't see your eyes. If your eyes are imperfect, you see spots in front of them. That means there's some lesions in the retina or whatever, and because your eyes aren't working properly, you feel them. In the same way, you don't hear your ears. If you have a ringing in your ears, it means there's something wrong with your ears. Therefore, if you do feel yourself, there must be something wrong with you. Whatever you have, the sensation is like spots in front of your eyes. It means something's wrong with your functioning. How true that is. I'm trying to figure out how to function. Oop, Shayna said, some of those vocal exercises are real tongue twisters. Oh yeah, no, I try to make them all tongue twisters. Thanks for saying so. Yeah, a couple of them are, the thistle sifter took me a good solid week of trying. I probably had to do that 20, 30, 40, 50 times before I could get through it. I am a thistle sifter. I have 7 sieves of unsifted thistles and 7 sieves of sifted thistles, for I am a thistle sifter. Oh, here we go. Did you hear the joke about the pepperoni pizza? It's been around for a while. I don't know if that's the joke. No, tell me the joke about the pepperoni pizza. Oh, too cheesy. Too cheesy, the joke about pepperoni pizza. Oh, acapella. Nice, I got a couple of songs picked out for you. This is fun for me because this week, oh, that's weird. Guess we're not doing the opening this time. Shayna has been kind enough to pick out some stuff for me to do every week. That's our own friend, DJ Shayna, right here. Oh, I mean right over there in the notes. And she has been kind enough to pick out a couple of songs, one of which I will read the lyrics because I can't sing it, and one of it I will try to sing because I love the Beatles. Let's get ourselves sued. What do you say? If anybody will do it. This is In My Life by the Beatles. I believe this is a Paul song. There are places I'll remember all my life, though some have changed, some forever, not for better. Some have gone, and some remain. All these places had their moments. With lovers and friends, I still can recall. Some are dead and some are living. In my life, I love them all. Do, 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 do. But of all these friends and lovers, there is no one compares with you, and those memories lose their meaning when I think of love as something new, though I know I'll never lose affection for people and things that went before. I know I'll often stop and think about them. In my life, I love you more, though I know I'll never lose affection for people and things that went before. I know I'll often stop and think about them. In my life, I love you more. In my life, I love you more. That wasn't bad, except for that one note. I think I found the bottom of my range. It's a great song. Thank you, Shayna. Hope I didn't butcher it for you. Yeah, I love the Beatles. I absolutely love the Beatles. When my wife and I traveled to Scotland I have everything. I have all the Beatles albums, as I'm sure you do. And we listened to everything that the Beatles ever recorded from beginning to end. We spent a 24-hour period just driving through Scotland and listening to the Beatles. And since then, I've been listening to them over and over. I can't get enough. I got the kids into them. We went and even saw a live performance. Not the actual Beatles, but we saw a Beatle cover band up at Blumenthal, and that was a great show. And now the whole family's into the Beatles, and I'm super into the Beatles, and I'm glad you picked one. Thank you. I hadn't even started their lyrics yet, and they're brilliant lyricists. So thanks for the recommendation, Shayna. All right. Uh-oh, here we go. Here's another joke. What is a tree's least favorite month? Let's see. Roots, branches, autumn, October, November. I don't know. What is a tree's least favorite month? September. Ooh. 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 I got to take a nap. September. Oh, God, let's spin the wheel. Yeah. No me gusta. Cool. Monologue. Meet me in the theater. Got some great monologues for you. All right, we got light and we got dark. Let's start with dark and we'll do light later. This is some George Carlin. Dad, if you're watching and you can't text in, this is for you. This is The Planet is Fine, the People Are Fucked by George Carlin. See how we do. At some point during every stage show I do, I take a sip of water and I ask the audience, how's the water here? I haven't gotten a positive response yet. Not one. Last year, I was in 100 different cities. Not one audience was able to give me a positive answer. No one trusts their water supply. Nobody. And that amuses me because it means that the system is beginning to collapse, beginning to break down. I enjoy chaos and disorder, not just because it helps me professionally. They're also my hobby. I'm an entropy buff. In high school, when I first heard of entropy, I was attracted to it immediately. They said that in nature, all systems are breaking down. And I thought, what a wonderful thing. Perhaps I can make some small contribution to this process myself. And of course, it's not just true of nature, it's true of society as well. If you look carefully, you can see that the social structure is just beginning to break down. It's just beginning to come apart at the seams. What I like about that is that it makes the news on television more exciting. I watch the news for one thing and one thing only: entertainment. That's all I want. You know my favorite thing on television? Bad news. Accidents, disasters, catastrophes, explosions, fires. I want to see shit being destroyed and bodies flying around. I'm not interested in the budget. I don't care about tax negotiations. I don't want to know what country the Pope is in. But show me a burning hospital with people on crutches jumping off the roof, and I'm a happy guy. I want to see a paint factory explode and a tornado hit a church on Sunday. I want to be told there's a guy running through Kmart's with a machine gun shooting people. I want to see thousands of people in the street killing policemen, hear about a nuclear meltdown in a big city, find out the stock market dropped 4,000 points in one day. I want to see people under pressure, sirens, flames, smoke, bodies, graves being filled, parents weeping. My kind of TV. Exciting shit. I just want some entertainment. It's the kind of guy I am. You know what I like most? Big chunks of steel, concrete, and fiery wood falling out of the sky. And people running around trying to get out of the way. It's exciting shit. Fuck Pakistan. At least I admit it. Most people won't admit those feelings. Most people see something like that and they say, oh, isn't that awful? Bullshit, you lying asshole. You love it and you know you love it. Explosions are fun. And the closer the explosion is to your house, the more fun it is. Have you ever noticed that? Sometimes an announcer comes on television and says, 6,000 people were killed in an explosion today. And you're like, where? Where? And he says, in Pakistan. Ah, fuck Fuck Pakistan. Too far away to be fun. But if he says it happened in your hometown, you say, whoa, hot shit, Dave. Come on, let's go down and look at the bodies. I love bad news. Doesn't bother me. The more bad news there is, the faster this system collapses. I'm glad the water sucks. You know what I do about it? I drink it. I fucking drink it. We're so self-important, so arrogant. Everybody's going to save something now. Save the trees, save the bees, save the whales, save the snails. And the supreme arrogance, save the planet. Are these people kidding? Save the planet? We don't even know how to take care of ourselves. And we're going to save the fucking planet? I'm getting tired of that shit. I'm tired of fucking Earth Day. I'm tired of these self-righteous, environmentalist, white bourgeois liberals who think the only thing wrong with this country is that there aren't enough bike paths. Trying to make the world safe for their repulsive Volvos. Besides, environmentalists don't give a shit about the planet anyway. Not really. Not in the abstract. You know what they're interested in? A clean place to live. Their own habitat. That's all. They're worried that sometime in the future they might personally be inconvenienced. Narrow, unenlightened self-interest doesn't impress me. And by the way, there's nothing wrong with the planet in the first place. The planet is fine. The people are fucked. Compared with the people, the planet's doing fantastic. It's been here for over 4 billion years. Did you ever think about that? The planet has been 4.5 billion years. And we're here for what? 100,000? And we've only been engaged in heavy industry for a little over 200 years. 200 versus 4.5 billion. And we have the nerve, the conceit, to think that somehow we're a threat, that somehow we're going to put this beautiful little blue-green ball in jeopardy. Believe me, this planet has put up with much worse than us. It's been through earthquakes, volcanoes, plate tectonics, solar flares, sunspots, magnetic storms, pole reversals, planetary floods, worldwide fires, tidal waves, wind and water erosion, cosmic rays, ice ages, and hundreds of thousands of years of bombardment by comets, asteroids, and meteors. People think a few plastic bags and aluminum cans are going to make a difference? Please. The planet isn't going anywhere, folks. We are. We're going away. Pack your shit. We're going away. And we won't leave much of a trace. Thank God for that. Nothing left. Maybe a little styrofoam. The planet will be here and we'll be gone. Another failed mutation. Another closed-end biological mistake. The planet will shake us off like a bad case of fleas, and it will heal itself, because that's what the planet does. It's a self-correcting system. The air and water and earth will recover and be renewed. And if plastic is really not biodegradable, the earth will embrace a new paradigm. Earth plus plastic. Earth doesn't share our prejudice against plastic. Plastic came out of the earth. She probably sees it as one of her many children. In fact, it could be the reason that the earth allowed us to be spawned here in the first place. It wanted plastic and didn't know how to make it. It needed us. That could be the answer to our age-old egocentric question. Why are we here? Plastic! And so, our job is done. The plastic is here. We can now be phased out. And I think that's already begun, don't you? I mean, to be fair, the planet probably sees us as a mild threat, something to be dealt with. And I'm sure it can defend itself in a manner of a large organism, the way a beehive or an ant colony would muster a defense. I'm sure the planet will think of something. What would you be thinking if you were the planet trying to defend yourself against this pesky, troublesome species? Let me see, what might I try? Viruses might be good. These humans seem vulnerable, and viruses are tricky, always mutating and developing new strains when new medicines or vaccines are introduced. And perhaps the first virus I try could be one that compromises their immune system. A human immunodeficiency virus that makes them vulnerable to other infections that come along. And perhaps this virus could be spread sexually, making them reluctant to engage in the act of reproduction, further reducing their numbers. Well, I guess it's a poetic notion, but it's a start. And I can dream, can't I? No, folks, I don't worry about the little things. Bees, trees, whales, snails. I don't worry about them. I think we're part of a much greater wisdom, greater than we will ever understand. A higher order. Call it what you like. I call it the big electron. The big electron. Whoa, whoa. It doesn't punish, doesn't reward, and it doesn't judge. It just is. And so are we. For a little while. See ya. Marvelous. Love me some George Carlin. All right, here we go. No, I did not like that joke. No, it was too corny. Where's Jim Millwater? I've been missing him. You should send him a text on Facebook. He said he was here last week, but he couldn't get into the chat somehow. Ooh. Why? Oh, I got this one. Why can't horses dance? Because they got two left feet. I figured that one out on my own. I think Jim's here. I wish there was some way we could confirm it, but there isn't, so we'll keep going. What do you say? Boom! Got it! Yes! Let's spin the wheel. Ooh, poem, nice. Got a couple of good ones. Here, let's start with a classic. Meet me in the Poetry Pagoda. All right. It's a short one. Doesn't rhyme, but I thought you would enjoy it. I thought of you when I read it. This is, I know you want to lie by the roadside, but the wolves are coming, sweetheart, by Leslie J. Anderson. I'm here with you. Our feet are bare at the beginning of a long walk. I know the field looks empty now. It's not. The seeds are still growing. Do not learn the lessons of heartbreak. The wisdom of sorrow is a lie. It will tell you wolves are a mercy, that a bare field is acceptable. If you need to rest, let's do it now. Drink water, sleep, hold yourself. Save your voice for when it's time to scream. I won't lie to you, though. The wolves are coming. In your heart is a knife, but also a harvest. When it's time, use one to protect the other. Lovely. Hey, first time you ever used the foot emoji. Cool. Yeah, it's never come up for me either. Wish I was in defeat. One more thing to get turned on by, that'd be fun. But not yet. Mostly they just make me roll my eyes when I see feet. All right, that was fun. Let's spin the wheel. I also do not have a foot fetish. Nor do I have a foot emoji fetish. Roses and thorns! Nice, let's meet me in the chat, shall I? Roses and thorns for the week. I hope you're still here, running around somewhere. Consequently, I understand if you had to go do things. But let's see. I am, let's see, roses and thorns are the good and bad things that happened to you this week, if you're watching at home. I'd love to hear your roses and thorns, Shayna. Mine, let's see. Had a nice chat with you this week, Shayna. That was really fun. We spent an afternoon texting. You wish to share with me or any of your viewers? No, I got a couple, but I don't like talking about it. I barely like doing them. But let's see. Yeah, we'll talk privately, I suppose. Yeah, I'm all about words. That's the thing. It's just the right words. Okay, what was I talking about? Good week. Let's see. This week, I spent time with the kids. I hung out with the dogs. Made chili. I did Daddy Son breakfast. My favorite restaurant's open again. The Sunflower on Statesville. I absolutely love that place. And I eat lunch with my son there once a week. And we had to take a month off because the staff at that particular restaurant take takes an entire month of July off to go back to Greece and to hang out. So they were all there, and now they're back, and I got to go back to my favorite restaurant and eat with my son, and that was a rose. And thorns, I didn't feel like leaving the house. I was kind of depressed, but I got a little bit done. But nothing bad happened to me because I kind of hid from everybody. I was just out of the way the whole week. So that's my rose and thorn. What's your roses and thorns? You got to tell me about them now. Running out. Oh, hiccups. That's not good for this thing. Well, I tell you what, that's all I can think of. Let's see, roses and thorns. What else? Oh, I met with my buddy Stu. I was working with my buddy Stu Watson. He's a wonderful, wonderful guy. Let's see. You don't want to talk about your fetuses, my fetishes, my dad and sisters. That's absolutely right. That is the correct assumption. But, that's a good brunch discussion. We'll figure that out. All right. I mean, if they're listening, and they probably are. I know sometimes people watch, if you click through from Facebook, you can watch the show without being able to join the chat. So I bet you there's a few people doing that. One can hope. But I want to hear about your week. You had so much going on. Did you make a final decision? Are you going away for a while? Tell me everything. I'd like to hear about it. Spend time with neighbors. I want to hear stuff. All right, let's spin the wheel. Shakespeare! Marvelous. Meet me in the Shakespeare stage. All right, it's time for, this is the all-time classic. This is the one everybody learns when they first take an interest in Shakespeare. This is To Be or Not to Be from Hamlet. To be or not to be. That is the question. Whether it's just nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against a sea of troubles, and by opposing, end them. To die. To sleep no more. And by a sleep, to say we end the heartache and the 1,000 natural shocks that flesh is heir to. 'Tis a consummation devoutly to be wished. To die. To sleep. To sleep. Perchance to dream. There's the rub. For in that sleep of death, what dreams may come when we have shuffled off this mortal coil must give us pause. There's the respect that makes calamity of so long life. For who would bear the whips and scorns of time? The oppressor's wrong, the proud man's contumely, the pangs of disprized love, the law's delay, the insolence of office, and the spurns that patient merit of the unworthy takes when he himself might his quietus break with a bare bodkin. Who would fardels bear to grunt and sweat under a weary life, but that the dread of something after death, the undiscovered country from whose bourne no traveler returns, puzzles the will, and makes us rather bear those ills we have than fly to others that we know not of. Thus conscience doth make cowards of us all. And thus the native hue of resolution is sicklied o'er with the pale cast of thought, and enterprises of great pith and moment with this regard their currents turn awry, and lose the name of action. I was not happy with that performance, but it doesn't matter. I'm learning. I'll watch it. I'll learn from it. But I know that one by heart, and that was one of the ones that I wanted to do in the first place. I really, really felt that when I was on the ship. All right. Oh, here's some rose and thorns, yay! Rose, I have been a bit obsessed with making art, which is great, from which I get a lot of enjoyment. Awesome. Love it if there's a little mania, and if that mania is pointed towards a project or a piece of art, that's just the best. It's the best use of it. Thorn, making art creates big messes, there is that, and it's distracted me from tidying my house and putting it on the market. It's a huge thing. It's a huge, huge thing. Yeah, maybe you ought to hire somebody. There's people who get houses ready for the market specifically. They can help you move stuff around. I don't know. Shayna, she says, I also find myself isolating from the world probably more than I should because I'm so obsessed with making art. That's fantastic. I'm just sitting around playing video games. I'm not even making art. I'm just hiding from the world, hiding from the pain, but I'm not creating any pleasure, not creating any joy, except this every once in a while. And every now and then I'll do a show or I'll make the kids laugh. That's about it. And finally, I want to move to Charlotte, partly so I can be closer to more comedy shows. You're not that far off. You're only 2 exits. It's not bad. I used to teach a comedy class over there at the Irish pub that has a comedy zone over there in Huntersville. It's a nice place to live, Huntersville. But hey, I understand. You know where you want to be. You should go there. Goodness knows I'd love to visit you more often. All right. We're all caught up. Let's spin the wheel. Galway Hooker. That's the one. Thank you. Comedy Club. Meet me at the Comedy Club. Why are horses bad dancers? Because they have 2 left feet. Fun. Oh yeah, that is where you met me in person for the first time. I forgot about that. See? Good comedy shows out there. I'm thinking of going to, there's an open mic in Matthews. It's a bit far, but my buddy Craig runs it, and I really, really, really want to go because I like Craig, and I like the people who go. He's not getting as many comics as he'd like, so I want to go out there and support. I'm trying to talk myself into going on Monday, so I'm putting that out there. It's a great show in Matthews in a really nice space. You'd have fun. All right, let's spin the wheel. Yes. Prose. Oh, nice. Let's meet in the prose library. And I ended my show with the grand finale of Escaping a Straitjacket while singing Frank Sinatra's My Way. Yes, that was my closer for many, 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 many years. Hard to argue with that. People hear it and they want to see it. I kind of miss doing it, but I'm too big for my straitjacket now. I got to buy one in a bigger size, and my pride will not allow me. Now, we got some great prose for you. I have picked out some Kurt Vonnegut. I don't know if you've read any Kurt Vonnegut, but I've been reading a lot of him lately. I love Kurt Vonnegut. And I sincerely hope you enjoy this excerpt from Breakfast of Champions by Kurt Vonnegut. Duane was a widower. He lived alone at night in a dream house in Fairchild Heights, which was the most desirable residential area in the city. Every house there cost at least $100,000 to build. Every house was on at least 4 acres of land. Duane's only companion at night was a Labrador retriever named Sparky. Sparky could not wag his tail because of an automobile accident many years ago, so he had no way of telling other dogs how friendly he was. He had to fight all the time. His ears were in tatters. He was lumpy with scars. Duane had a black servant named Lottie Davis. She cleaned his house every day. Then she cooked his supper for him and served it. Then she went home. She was descended from slaves. Lottie Davis and Duane didn't talk much, even though they liked each other a lot. Duane reserved most of his conversation for the dog. He would put things down on the floor, and he would get there and roll around with Sparky, and he would say things like, "You and me, Spark, huh? How's my old buddy?" and so on. And that routine went on unrevised, even after Duane started to go crazy. So Lottie had nothing unusual to notice. Kilgore Trout owned a parakeet named Bill. Like Dwayne Hoover, Trout was all alone at night except for his pet. Trout, too, talked to his pet. But while Duane babbled to his Labrador retriever about love, Trout sneered and muttered to his parakeet about the end of the world. "Any time now," he would say, "and high time, too." It was Trout's theory that the atmosphere would become unbreathable soon. Trout supposed that when the atmosphere became poisonous, Bill would keel over a few minutes before Trout did. He would kid Bill about that. "How's the old respiration, Bill?" he'd say, or "Seems like you got to touch the old emphysema, Bill," or "We never discussed what kind of funeral you want, Bill. You never even told me what your religion was," and so on. So he told Bill that humanity deserved to die horribly, since it had behaved so cruelly and wastefully on a planet so sweet. "We're all Heliogabalus, Bill," he would say. This was the name of a Roman emperor who had a sculptor make a hollow, life-sized iron bull with a door on it. The door could be locked from the outside. The bull's mouth was open. That was the only other opening to the outside. Heliogabalus would have a human being put into the bill through the door, and the door would be locked. Any sounds the human being made in there would come out of the mouth of the bull. Heliogabalus would have guests in for a nice party, with plenty of food and wine and beautiful women and pretty boys, and Heliogabalus would have a servant light kindling. The kindling was under dry firewood, which was under the bull. Trout did another thing which some people might have considered eccentric. He called mirrors leaks. It amused him to pretend that mirrors were holes between two universes. If he saw a child near a mirror, he might wag his finger at a child warningly and say with great solemnity, "Don't get too near that leak. You wouldn't want to wind up in another universe, would you?" Sometimes somebody would say this in his presence. "Excuse me, I have to take a leak." This is a way of saying that the speaker intended to drain liquid wastes from his body through a valve in his lower abdomen. And Trout would reply waggishly, "Where I come from, that means you're about to steal a mirror," and so on. By the time of Trout's death, of course, everybody called mirrors leaks. That's how respectable even his jokes had become. In 1972, Trout lived in a basement apartment in Cohoes, New York. He made his living as an installer of aluminum combination storm windows and screens. He had nothing to do with the sales ends of the business because he had no charm. Charm was a scheme for making strangers like and trust a person immediately, no matter what the charmer had in mind. Dwayne Hoover had oodles of charm. I can have oodles of charm when I want to. A lot of people have oodles of charm. Trout's employer and co-workers had no idea that he was a writer. No reputable publisher had ever heard of him, for that matter, even though he had written 117 novels and 2,000 short stories by the time he met Dwayne. He made carbon copies of nothing he wrote. He mailed off manuscripts without enclosing stamped, self-addressed envelopes for their safe return. Sometimes he didn't even include a return address. He got names and addresses for publishers from magazines devoted to the writing business, which he read avidly in the periodical rooms of public libraries. He thus got in touch with a firm called World Classics Library, which published hardcore pornography in Los Angeles, California. They used his stories, which usually didn't even have women in them, to give bulk to their magazines. They never told him where or when he might find himself in print. And this is what they paid him. Doodly squat. They didn't even send him complimentary copies of the books and magazines in which he appeared, so he had to search them out in pornography stores. And the titles he gave to his stories were often changed. Pan-Galactic Straw Boss, for instance, became Mouth Crazy. Most distracting to Trout, however, were the illustrations his publishers selected, which had nothing to do with his novel. He wrote a novel, for instance, about an earthling named Delmore Skagg, a bachelor in a neighborhood where everybody else had enormous families. And Skagg was a scientist, and he found a way to reproduce himself in chicken soup. He would shave living cells from the palm of his right hand, mix them, He would shave the living cells from the palm of his right hand, mix them with the soup, and expose the soup to cosmic rays. The cells turned into babies, which look exactly like Delmore Skagg. Pretty soon, Delmore was having several babies a day and inviting his neighbors to share his pride and happiness. He had mass baptisms, as many of 100 babies at a time. He became famous as a family man, and so on. Kurt Vonnegut. Never know what to expect. That cow thing's terrifying. So terrifying it's got to be true. Love me some Kurt Vonnegut. All right, let's spin the wheel. What do you say? Ooh, Zen Koan. Nice. Meet me at the campfire. Let's see how everything looks. Get this out the shot. Nice. All right. This, Miss you, Shayna, this is Zen Koan 69. Eating the blame. Probably a coincidence. Circumstances arose one day which delayed preparation of the dinner of a Soto Zen master, Fugai, and his followers. In haste, the cook went to the garden with his curved knife and cut off the tops of green vegetables, chopped them together, and made soup, unaware that in his haste he had included a part of a snake in the vegetables. The followers of Fugai thought they had never tasted such great soup, but when the master himself found the snake's head in the bowl, he summoned the cook. "What is this?" he demanded, holding up the head of the snake. "Oh, thank you, master," replied the cook, taking the morsel and eating it quickly. Nice. Yeah. Let's spin the wheel. Wisdom. Very nice. Let us lay down some wisdom from on high. This is some wisdom from one of my personal heroes, the writer and television producer Rod Serling, most famous, of course, for his work on The Twilight Zone. I love The Twilight Zone, of course, and this is from Rod. Teleprompter's giving me the business today, so let's try again. Hatred is not the norm. Prejudice is not the norm. Suspicion, dislike, jealousy, and scapegoating. None of these things is the transcendent facet of the human personality. They are the diseases. They are the cancers of the soul. They are the infectious and contagious viruses that have bled humanity over the years. But because they have been and are, is it necessary that they shall be? That's some wisdom from Rod Serling. I don't think it's necessary. I think we can figure it out. 3 generations if everybody stopped being a dick around their kids. Let's try it. All right, nothing new in the chat. Let's spin the wheel. Acapella! Nice. Let's read some lyrics. Please meet me in the acapella library. Let's see, here we are. I'm going to read this one because I'm not familiar with the song and I'm not positive how the bridge goes. But just in case you're curious, I want to do the first line just to hear how it sounds to me. Do you have the time to listen to me whine about nothing and everything all at once? There you go. So that's why I'll be reading the lyrics. This is Basket Case by Green Day. Do you have the time to listen to me whine about nothing and everything all at once? I am one of those melodramatic fools, neurotic to the bone, no doubt about it. Sometimes I give myself the creeps. Sometimes my mind plays tricks on me. It all keeps adding up. I think I'm cracking up. Am I just paranoid or am I just stoned? I went to a shrink. I went to a shrink to analyze my dreams. She says it's lack of sex that's bringing me down. I went to a whore. She said my life's a bore. So quit whining, 'cause it's bringing her down. Sometimes I give myself the creeps. Sometimes my mind plays tricks on me. It all keeps adding up. I think I'm cracking up. Am I just paranoid? Or am I just stoned? Grasping to control, so I better hold on. Sometimes I give myself the creep. Sometimes my mind plays tricks on me. It all keeps adding up. I think I'm cracking up. Am I just paranoid? Or am I just stoned? It's a great song. Ooh, Shayna's back. Let's see. Shayna said, "Yay, you recited one of my favorite Green Day songs. That was specifically by your request. I have tickets to see Green Day August 25th. Very, very cool. Am I a Green Day fan? No, I listened to their hits on the radio. They were big when I was in high school, but I never really got into their music too much. So there you have it. I'm learning more about them all the time. Thanks for sending me a song I never would have done if you hadn't suggested it." All right. I'm losing the top of my head here. I don't like it. There we go. Do you have the time to listen to me whine? All right, that was fun. Let's spin the wheel. Ooh, monologue, nice. Meet me at the theater. All right, I'm continuing my theme. I'm continuing my theme of Bob Newhart this month, celebrating him on the event of his death. This is one of my favorite Bob Newhart bits. I sincerely hope you enjoy it. And I'm curious if you've heard it before. So if you haven't heard it, please let me know. This is called Introducing Tobacco to Civilization by Bob Newhart. Milestones are never really recognized right away. Sometimes it takes 50, 60 years before people realize what an achievement it is. Like, for instance, take tobacco and the discovery of tobacco. It was discovered by Sir Walter Raleigh, and he sent it over to England from the colonies. And it seems to me that the uses of tobacco aren't obvious right off the bat, And I imagine a phone conversation between Sir Walter Raleigh and the head of the West Indies Company in England, explaining about the shipment of tobacco that had just been sent over. I think it would go something like this. Yeah, who is it, Mary? Sir Walter Raleigh from the colonies, huh? Yeah, put him on, would you? Harry, yeah, you want to pick up the extension? It's Nutty Walt again. Yeah. Hey, Walt, how you doing, gang? How's everything going? Well, things are fine here, Walt. Did we get the, what? Oh, the boatload of turkeys. Yeah, they arrived fine. As a matter of fact, they're still here, Walt. They're still wandering all over London, as a matter of fact. Yeah. See, that's an American holiday, Walt. Yeah. But what is it this time? You got another winner for us? Yeah. Tobacco. What's tobacco? It's a kind of leaf. And you bought 80 tons of it? Let me get this straight now. Walt, you bought 80 tons of leaves? Well, this might kind of come as a surprise to you, Walt, but come fall in England here, we're kind of up to our... Oh, it's not that kind of leaf. Well, what is it? A special food of some kind, is it? Well, not exactly. It has a lot of different uses. Like, what are some of its uses? Are you saying snuff, Walt? What's snuff? You take a pinch of tobacco and you shove it up your nose, and it makes you sneeze. Oh, yeah, I imagine it would. Yeah, goldenrod seems to do it pretty well over here, Walt. It has some other uses. Okay, you can chew it, or you can put it in a pipe, or you can shred it up and put it in a piece of paper and roll up the piece of paper. Okay. Don't tell me, Walt. Don't tell me. You stick it in your ear, right, Walt? Oh, okay, between your lips. All right, then what do you do with it, Walt? You set fire to it. And then what do you do, Walt? You inhale the smoke. You know what? It seems offhand like you could stand in front of your fireplace and have the same thing going for you, you know? See, Walt, we've been a little worried about you, you know, ever since you put your cape down over that mud. Yeah, I think you're going to have kind of a tough time selling people on sticking burning leaves in their mouth. It's going very big over there, is it? All right. What's the matter? You spelt your coffee? What's coffee, Walt? That's a drink that's made out of beans. Out of beans. Huh. That's going over very big there too, is it? Huh? A lot of people have their coffee right after their first cigarette in the morning. Is that what you call the burning leaves, Walt, cigarettes? Uh-huh. I tell you what, Walt, why don't you send us a boatload of those beans too? If you could talk people into putting those burning leaves in their mouth, they got to go for those beans. And listen, Walt, don't call us, we'll call you, okay? Bye-bye. Ah, brilliant. Still holds up. Dad's here! Dad's here! Oh, my goodness gracious, I can't wait. All right, let's go back to the thing. I'm not a Green Day fan. Dad says, hi, gang. Sorry I'm late. I'm so glad you're here, Dad. I was afraid you weren't able to comment again. Welcome to the big show. Did Bob Meyer express interest in impersonating Bob Newhart? Again, I am not 100. We don't have the comics of Ghost of Comics Past Show book this year. So if Debbie decides to produce that, I will definitely pitch Bob for the Bob Newhart bit. It is a great bit. I love Bob Newhart. He's fantastic. DJ says, I'm looking forward to seeing how Craig Collins pimps out the Pee Wee Herman bike. Well, that was only for 1 year because Pee Wee Herman died. He'll probably be doing something different next year. Jim, how you been? How you doing? Hi, Shayna. Better late than never. That's my motto. Let's spin the wheel. You do all right, Dad? Any roses and thorns? Anything you want to talk about this week? Poem. Nice. Meet me at the Poetry Pagoda. This is a classic. I love this one. Oh, I had no idea. Craig says that he'll do Pee Wee again. At least I think he said he would. Why not? I like Pee Wee as much as the next guy. Probably more. All right. This is a classic. This is called He Wishes for the Clothes of Heaven by William Butler Yeats. Had I the heavens' embroidered clothes, enwrought with golden and silver light, the blue and the dim and the dark clothes of night, and light and the half-light, I would spread the clothes under your feet. But I, being poor, have only my dreams. I have spread my dreams under your feet. Tread softly, because you tread on my dreams. It's short, but it's wonderful. Love that one. All right, let's go back to the chat, shall we? My agenda for today is pretty simple. I am going to, Sunday is pizza day, so at the end of the day, I'm going to order pizza and we'll eat that with the kids. I'm doing this thing here at the Comedy Zone, but I'm not doing my writers group at the Comedy Zone because they're doing a staff meeting today. So I'm going to go down the street to Amelie's and I'm going to hang out with Craig and we're going to work on our Joyful Noise project there. So that'll be fun. Love hanging out with Craig. It'll be a good time. You're going to Pilates. Love to see that. What you going to wear? Always curious. Is it going to be those skin-tight black pants? I don't know. I'm just a big fan of people who wear skin-tight black pants in general. I wouldn't call it a fetish, but I do like it. We were talking fetishes earlier, Dad. Amelie's, what a great place to meet. I think that's on the sign. Yeah, no, I love Amelie's. Great. It's a very creative environment, too. It's noisy. It's noisy enough where you can talk and not worry about other people hearing you, but not so noisy that you're distracted by other people's noise. It's just right. I'm wearing leggings and a sports bra. So am I. That's a good one, Dad. If anybody can make it work. Yep. I'll tell you what, is there anything else you guys want to talk about? Because I could pack all this up. I got all the content that I need for next week. Love this whole process, though. Is there anything else you want to talk about? Now, if you join me at Pilates, you can wear what you want. I don't have Pilates clothes. I don't even have a sports bra. Probably need one. Don't have it. But I know you're a super duper Pilates player because you're up on the wall, aren't you? Like at the bowling alley. She did the best Pilates. I don't know what was that list for? What was that thing on there? I'm always curious. Well, it's about time to wrap things up, I think. Next week, Shayna, if you're available, I'd love to have brunch. Dad, I'm going to call you this afternoon. It's 1,000 classes. Wow. Wow, that's impressive. You must be pretty damn good. Very, very nice. It's not enough things I've done 1,000 times. Certainly not enough respectable things I've done 1,000 times. That's wonderful, Shayna. Congratulations. Let's go to the talk show desk. I want to thank everybody for watching. Don't forget, we'll be back next Sunday with some brand new material. I hope you'll check out Johnny's Happy Place. It's at 11 o'clock on Sundays on twitch.tv/Johnny's Happy Place. I'm going to try to work on a promo this week so that we can start promoting the show. I know you're still trying to get the word out there, so I appreciate that. But love you guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon. And remember, the only way to save this country is for all of us to love one another. So love yourself first, then find somebody else to love. Then if you can, love everybody. That's what I'm trying to do. We'll meet again. Don't know where, don't know when, but I know we'll meet again some sunny day. Keep shining through, just like you always do, and the blue skies will push the dark clouds far away. And would you please say hello to the folks that I know and tell them I won't be long. They'll be happy to know that as you saw me go, I was singing this song. We'll meet again, don't know where, I don't know when, but I know we'll meet again some sunny day. Thanks for watching. Until next time, be good, but not too good. Bye-bye.